Dogs are known for their loyalty, their goofy smiles, and their tail-wagging joy. But beneath that cheerful exterior, many dogs are quietly struggling with anxiety, and most owners don't even realize it. In this video, we're diving into 7 hidden signs your dog is anxious that often go unnoticed. These aren't the obvious ones like barking or hiding. These are the subtle, sneaky clues that your dog might be stressed, overwhelmed, or emotionally unsettled. And by the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these signs, you'll understand what they mean and how to help your furry friend feel safe again. Let's start with something that looks innocent. Excessive licking. Most people think their dog is just grooming, or maybe it has an itch. But when a dog licks their paws constantly, even when they're clean, it's often a self-soothing behavior. Think of it like nail biting in humans. It's a repetitive action that helps calm their nerves. Over time, this can lead to raw skin, infections, and even hair loss. What's really happening is that the dog is trying to regulate its emotions. Maybe there's been a change in the home, a new pet, a move, or even a shift in the owner's schedule. Dogs thrive on routine, and when that routine is disrupted, anxiety can creep in. So if your dog is licking more than usual, don't just reach for the ointment. Ask yourself, what's changed in their world? Next up is panting without a clear reason. Sure, dogs pant when they're hot or after exercise, but if your dog is panting while lying on the couch or in a cool room, it could be a sign of stress. Panting is one way dogs release nervous energy. It's their version of a deep breath, and it often comes with other signs, like drooling, trembling, or pacing. This kind of panting usually shows up during thunderstorms, fireworks, or even when the dog senses tension in the household. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to human emotions. If you're stressed, they often mirror that stress. So when you see unexplained panting, take a moment to assess the environment. Is there loud noise? Are you feeling anxious yourself? Your dog might be picking up on that. Now let's talk about something that surprises a lot of people: sudden aggression. A dog that's usually gentle might start growing, snapping, or showing teeth. And it's easy to assume they're just being bad or dominant. But aggression is often a fear response. When a dog feels cornered, confused, or threatened, they might blink out. This is especially common in dogs with past trauma or poor socialization. Anxiety doesn't always look like fear. It can look like defensiveness. If your dog suddenly becomes reactive, especially in new situations or around unfamiliar people, it's worth exploring the root cause. Are they overwhelmed? Are they trying to protect themselves? Aggression is a cry for help, not a character flaw. Another hidden sign is pacing back and forth. This one is easy to miss because it looks like restlessness. But pacing is a classic anxiety behavior. Dogs pace when they're trying to walk off their stress. It's a physical outlet for emotional discomfort. You'll often see this during stressful events, like when guests arrive, or when the dog is left alone. Some dogs pace near windows, waiting for their owner to return. Others pace in circles or follow the same path repeatedly. It's not just boring, it's a coping mechanism. And the more often it happens, the more serious the anxiety might be. Creating a calm space, using enrichment toys, or even playing soothing music can help reduce this behavior. Now here's one that's truly heartbreaking: avoidance or withdrawal. Dogs are social creatures. They love being close to their humans. So when a dog starts hiding under furniture, avoiding eye contact, or refusing cuddles, it's a red flag. This kind of behavior often shows up after a traumatic event or during periods of high stress. It's their way of saying, "I don't feel safe," and it's easy to misinterpret as stubbornness or moodiness. But in reality, the dog is trying to protect itself emotionally. They might retreat to quiet corners or sleep more than usual. They might flinch when touched or refuse to play. These are all signs that their emotional world is out of balance. And the best response isn't punishment, it's patience. Give them space, offer gentle reassurance, and rebuild trust slowly. Let's move on to a more subtle clue: frequent yawning. Yes, yawning. Most people think their dog is just tired. But dogs yawn for emotional reasons too. It's called a calming signal. When a dog yawns during training, vet visits, or car rides, it's often trying to calm itself or communicate that it's uncomfortable. Yawning can also be contagious between dogs and humans, which shows how emotionally attuned they are to us. If your dog yawns repeatedly in stressful situations, it's not just fatigue, it's anxiety. And it's their way of saying, "I'm not okay." Pay attention to when and where the yawning happens. It might help you identify triggers and adjust your approach. Another overlooked sign is tail carriage and movement. Most people think a wagging tail means a happy dog. But that's not always true. The position and speed of the wag tell a deeper story. A low, slow wag can indicate uncertainty or nervousness. A stiff, high tail might signal tension. And a tail tucked between the legs is a classic sign of fear. Dogs use their tails to communicate their emotional state. And once you learn to read it, you'll start noticing patterns. For example, a dog might wag their tail when meeting someone new. But if the wag is short, tight, and paired with a stiff posture, they're not excited. They're anxious. Tail language is subtle, but it's one of the most honest forms of canine communication. Finally, let's talk about changes in appetite. Dogs love food, so when they suddenly stop eating, or start eating too fast, it's a sign something's off. Anxiety can mess with their digestion, just like it does in humans. Some dogs lose interest in meals. Others become food aggressive, guarding their bowl, or scarfing down food like it's their last meal. These changes often reflect emotional instability. Maybe the dog feels unsafe. Maybe they're worried about competition. Or maybe they're just too stressed to eat. If your dog's eating habits change dramatically, don't ignore it. It could be a sign of deeper emotional distress. So, what can you do if you notice these signs? First, don't panic. Anxiety is common in dogs, and it's treatable. Start by observing your dog's behavior closely. Keep a journal if needed. Note when the signs appear, what's happening around them, and how long they last. This can help you identify patterns and triggers. Next, create a safe and predictable environment. Dogs thrive on routine. Regular walks, consistent feeding times, and quiet spaces can make a big difference. Enrichment toys, puzzle feeders, and scent games can also help reduce anxiety by keeping their minds engaged. If the anxiety seems severe or persistent, don't hesitate to consult a vet or a certified dog behaviorist. They can rule out medical issues and offer tailored strategies. In some cases, natural supplements like CBD or melatonin may help. In others, behavior modification or training might be needed. The key is to approach the issue with empathy, not frustration. Your dog isn't trying to be difficult. They're trying to cope. And here's the most important takeaway. Your dog is always communicating, even when they're silent, even when they seem fine. Their body language, habits, and quirks are all part of a bigger emotional story. By learning to read that story, you become a better guardian. You build trust. You deepen your bond. And you give your dog the gift of emotional safety. So the next time your dog licks their paws, paces the room, or yawns during a car ride, don't brush it off. Read in, listen. Because behind every hidden sign is a dog that just wants to feel okay. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps more dog lovers discover these important insights. Subscribe for more deep dives into dog psychology, behavior tips, and emotional wellness for your furry friend. And if you've noticed any of these signs in your own dog, share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and support each other.